Archangel Michael says, there is an urgency in the air that cannot be ignored. Tonight, a dangerous hand is moving towards what is rightfully yours, and her intentions are sharper than any weapon. The name you thought you could trust is the very one preparing to pierce your stability. You may not have noticed the small changes, the strange deductions, the odd inquiries, the way certain conversations seem to end too quickly. They were not accidents, they were signs. Tonight, those signs have matured into a full-scale move that could shatter your security. This woman's plan has been set in motion for weeks, and each day has brought her closer to the moment she's been waiting for. She has watched, studied, and gathered every piece of information she could find about you. Her hands now hold your bank details, and her next action could be the one that changes everything in your life. There is no room for hesitation anymore. The clock is no longer ticking, it is racing. You are standing at the very edge of the moment when everything could be taken away, and if you don't act now, tomorrow might come with an empty account and a heavy heart. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Her method is not loud, it is precise. She knows that the cleanest theft is one that looks like it belongs. By the time the bank realizes, it will already be too late. The conversations you once ignored, the messages that felt out of place, and the smiles that didn't match the eyes, they all connect to her. Tonight, they will connect to your account. This is not about mere greed, it's about control. She wants the satisfaction of watching you crumble, of knowing she was the reason you were brought to your knees. But you have been warned, and that warning is your weapon. What you do now will decide whether you stop her in her tracks or watch her walk away with everything you have worked for. Type Amen to get blessing 444. There are people in her circle who know what she's about to do but have chosen silence over truth. Some are afraid, others are benefiting from her actions. That's why no one will call to warn you, they're all in the shadow of her plan. Her strategy began with something as harmless as asking questions about your work, your home, your routine. Slowly, the questions turned into subtle requests for information, and without realizing it, you provided her the keys to your financial door. It doesn't matter how strong your walls are if someone already has the master key. And tonight, she intends to use that key. The energy around you is heavy because your spirit knows what's coming. This is why you've been feeling restless, why you've been waking in the middle of the night, and why your mind has been replaying certain conversations. Type Amen to get blessing 555. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the danger is real, but the chance to stop it is in your hands. You are not powerless, you are being called to act. Protection is already surrounding you, but it requires your alertness. This is not the time to let doubt slow you down. The window between her plan and her action is short, and hesitation will only give her more advantage. Your spirit guides are placing images and memories in your mind right now. Those flashes are not random, they are directing you to where the threat is hiding. By the time the moon reaches its peak tonight, her attempt will either be stopped or succeed. Which outcome you see will depend on what you choose to do now. Type Amen to get blessing 777. She is not someone far away, she is close enough to know your patterns. That closeness is what makes her plan dangerous and difficult to detect. There is a certain coldness in her steps tonight, a determination that has no hesitation. Every click she makes on her device is pulling her closer to executing her plan. Do not think of her as desperate, think of her as calculated. Desperation is messy. Calculation is deadly. And yet, even the most careful plans can shatter when light is thrown upon them. Your awareness is that light. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Her phone has already been prepared with the necessary details. Screenshots of your account numbers, saved passwords, and verification steps are all in place. She has rehearsed the process in her mind so many times that she can do it without a moment's hesitation. This isn't just a random act, this is a plan built over time. Every word she spoke to you, every moment she seemed to care, was just another step in her climb towards this night. Her confidence is dangerous because she truly believes you won't suspect her. And in her mind, by the time you even begin to question what happened, she'll be far away, unreachable, and already enjoying what she stole. But there is something she didn't account for, you being warned before the strike. That is why this message has reached you now, at the exact hour when her plan is closest to becoming real. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The energy around you tonight is vibrating with urgency. You may even notice strange feelings, like chills on your skin or sudden bursts of anxiety. These are not random. They are signals meant to wake you up to the danger that is moving closer. Your name has already been whispered among her allies. They know what's about to happen and are silently waiting for the chaos to unfold. None of them will stop her because they, too, want to see you fall. She has learned your patterns, not just in your finances, but in your emotions. She knows how you react under stress, and she's counting on you being too shocked to act quickly. But now, the element of surprise belongs to you. You can disrupt her plan before she even makes her first move. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Archangel Michael says, this is your moment to act with courage. The forces of light are surrounding you, but they will not move unless you move with them. You are being given this warning because your name is written in the protection of the divine tonight. Her intentions carry the weight of betrayal, and that betrayal is sharp. It cuts deeper because it comes from someone who once smiled in your presence, someone you might have trusted without hesitation. The thought of her pressing the final button, sending your money out of your reach, is enough to shake you, but fear cannot be the only thing you feel. Let it be the spark that makes you act now. You are closer to safety than you realize, but only if you recognize that this message is the sign you have been waiting for. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The night has a stillness to it, but beneath that stillness, there's movement. Invisible threads are pulling together every piece of her plan, and her confidence grows with every second. She believes the darkness of night will hide her crime. She believes the silence will keep you unaware until it's too late. But she doesn't know that your awareness has already begun to unravel her scheme. Even as she prepares her device, your energy is beginning to push against her. Every plan has a weak point, and hers is her arrogance. That arrogance can be broken, but only by swift action. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Her hands are not shaking. In fact, she feels steady, almost excited. The rush of knowing she's about to take something without your permission gives her a thrill she can't hide. But she underestimates the power of a person who has been warned. She underestimates the strength of someone who refuses to be a silent victim. The first signs of her failure will be small: a blocked attempt, an unexpected security alert, a locked account. These will frustrate her, but they will also make her reckless. The more reckless she becomes, the more mistakes she will make. And mistakes will be her downfall. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The room she is in right now is dim, only lit by the glow of her phone screen. Her fingers hover over the final confirmation, and the sound of her breathing is steady, calculated. She has blocked out the rest of the world, focusing only on the numbers that she is about to drain. She is convinced that you are unaware. She believes you are somewhere sleeping, unaware of the digital thread that connects her device to your account. Her mind is already picturing what she will do with the money once it's gone. But what she doesn't see is the shield forming around you in this very moment. A force that is already working to intercept the damage before it lands. The signal of protection is moving faster than her malicious intent. Type Amen to get blessing 777. There's a pattern to her crimes, and you are not her first target. But something about you is different. Something about you has stirred a stronger desire in her to succeed. That's why she's taking extra care tonight to avoid mistakes. She has prepared for weeks, setting traps, planting small lies, even sending messages that seemed harmless at the time. All of them were seeds to this moment. The timing of her move is deliberate. She chose a night when she thought you'd be least likely to notice, when your focus would be elsewhere. She is hoping the transaction will be complete before dawn, giving her hours to hide her tracks. But the warning has reached you in time, and that changes everything. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Archangel Michael says, she has underestimated the strength of your spirit. You are not meant to lose tonight, you are meant to rise. Her plan may be in motion, but there is a higher plan already unfolding above hers. The sound of her typing is like the ticking of a clock. Each keystroke brings her closer to the point of no return, but it also brings you closer to the moment where she realizes she's not as clever as she thinks. The balance is fragile now. One action from you can shatter her entire operation. You are being positioned for that very moment. Once you act, her confidence will vanish, and panic will take its place. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Her circle of influence is watching from the shadows. They think they're invisible, but their involvement leaves traces. A digital trail, a whisper to the wrong ear, an action taken too early, these things will soon expose them. She thinks she's working alone, but every act of greed attracts attention. And greed has a way of unraveling alliances faster than any outsider could. Even now, there are people around her who are quietly wondering if she's gone too far this time. But none of them will stop her because they fear her just as much as they admire her. Their silence is a shield for her, but it is also a rope tightening around them all. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. She will attempt the transaction in small steps. First, a test, just enough to see if the details work. Then, the real move, designed to drain as much as she can in one smooth motion. Her plan depends on you staying unaware until the process is complete. She's relying on your usual calm, thinking it will delay your reaction. But she doesn't know that this calm has shifted into something sharper. You are now on high alert, ready to intercept her every move. The element of surprise has already left her hands and entered yours. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. She is pacing now, not because she's nervous, but because she's eager. The anticipation of stealing something she didn't earn gives her a strange satisfaction. Every step she takes feels like a countdown to her personal victory. Her phone is charged, her network connection is strong, and her mind is fixed on one thing: transferring your money into an account she controls. She believes she has thought of every possible obstacle and eliminated it. But what she doesn't realize is that the moment her plan touches your energy, it becomes vulnerable. The divine forces guarding you are already disrupting her path, creating unseen delays and small errors she cannot explain. These invisible barriers will grow stronger as the night continues. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. The screen in her hand shows numbers, your numbers. Each digit represents more than just currency, it represents your work, your effort, your time, your sacrifices. And she wants it all without having lifted a single finger to earn it. There is a darkness in her heart tonight, a sharpness in her intentions that shows she feels no guilt. Her mind is focused only on what she gains, not on the damage she will leave behind. But there is an unseen weight pressing against her now. It is the resistance of a truth she doesn't want to face. The path she is on ends in exposure. Every move she makes tonight is bringing her closer to being caught. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. Archangel Michael says, she will feel the shift soon. The air around her will grow heavier, the connection she relies on will flicker, and her once steady hands will begin to falter. This is not coincidence, it is intervention. You are being given the power to block her attempt. It may come as a sudden urge to check your accounts, a message from your bank, or a warning in your spirit that you can't ignore. When that sign comes, act instantly. Do not hesitate, because the moment you do, the opportunity will close. Your strength tonight will determine whether you wake up to security or loss. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. She has hidden her identity well in public, but in private, her actions leave marks. Her device has stored every login, every attempt, every transfer she has ever made. These marks are her undoing. They are the evidence that will eventually be used against her when the truth surfaces. She thinks deleting history and clearing files will make her untouchable, but she doesn't know that some traces can never be erased. Every action she takes is already being recorded where she cannot reach. The more she tries to cover her trail, the more tangled it becomes. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. The night is silent, but her thoughts are loud. They race with plans, calculations, and images of what she will buy when she has your money. This is not just about the amount, this is about power. Taking from you makes her feel powerful, as though she's proved something to herself. But her desire for power blinds her to the fact that it is already slipping from her hands. She is unaware that the same plan she believes will make her untouchable is the very thing that will destroy her. The end of her control is closer than she thinks. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. The pressure in the room around her thickens as the minute hand crawls forward. She mistakes the resistance for a slow network, tapping again with growing force. The more she pushes, the more the unseen shield resists her intent. Your intuition sharpens like a blade ready to cut through fog. The image of a specific app flashes in your mind and lingers until you act. You reach for your device with a calm that hides a storm of precision. A silent current moves through your space, rearranging your attention. Notifications you would normally ignore catch your eye with unusual clarity. The path to safety stands open and steady in front of you. You begin with the simplest step and it changes the night. One security switch flips from green to gray and her first attempt hits a wall. The clean sound of a block echoes in the invisible place between your account and her device. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. She pauses, then breathes out hard, annoyed but not defeated. Her screen shows a setback she did not expect, and she scrolls fast for a workaround. The longer she scrolls, the more the system refuses to bend. Her confidence falters as the second attempt fails with the same cold message. The plan she worshipped begins to look smaller in the dark room. The thrill she craved dissolves into a bitter taste of delay. You follow the next impulse with unwavering focus. You change the password that guarded the door she thought she owned. A new lock forms with a complexity she cannot decode. The recovery keys settle into a safe place only you can access. Multi-factor protection tightens like a clasp that will not open for strangers. The network around your finances becomes a fortress in the span of a few breaths. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Her mind runs down a list of backups that worked on others before you. None of them answer her tonight. The pattern that served her has broken in your presence. Somewhere near her, a small sound interrupts the momentum she tried to build. A message arrives that offers nothing but a reminder of time slipping through her hands. She presses her lips together and stares at the screen until her eyes burn. You take one more careful step that closes a hidden gap. You enable alerts on every transaction and verify every device that claims to be you. The system agrees to speak to you first before it allows anyone to touch your funds. A quiet certainty roots itself inside your chest. The danger still presses at the edges, but it cannot find the door. Your awareness has cut the wires she strung in secret places. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. The lights from the street outside her window blur as she blinks too long. Frustration climbs her spine like a slow flame. She sets her jaw and decides to push with everything she has left. She reaches for another account to route the transfer through an unexpected angle. The move requires speed and a perfect sequence of steps. She moves as if she is in a race that ends at the moment before sunrise. The force of protection surrounding you thickens like a wall of night air. It bends her signal away from your credentials before it reaches the gate. Each bounce bleeds time from her plan. You breathe and let the calm hold you steady. Actions that once felt complicated now flow like water through clear channels. You hold your ground without strain while the attempt exhausts itself against your barriers. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. In the corner of her screen, a warning she ignored earlier returns with sharper edges. The system prompts her to verify details she does not fully possess. Her face tightens at the realization that she never had complete control. She scrolls back through her notes with growing urgency. Old messages, stolen fragments, and partial sequences refuse to form a whole. The gaps she thought were small expand into canyons. Your device glows with confirmations that land like anchors. The bank recognizes your new settings and aligns them with stricter defaults. The fragile places transform into reinforced points of strength. A sense of clean order fills the space around you. The path of theft closes with a soundless click. The night shifts its weight away from threat and toward safety. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. She does not surrender. She decides to attempt one last maneuver that relies on your past behavior. She hopes a familiar pattern will open a side door you forgot to seal. But the pattern is gone, and the door does not exist anymore. The structure of your habits has changed in the exact hour she needed it to remain the same. Her strategy meets a shape it cannot predict. A timestamp stamps itself across her screen with brutal indifference. An error code stacks beneath it like a curtain she cannot lift. The thread she pulled now snaps in her hands. Silence expands around her until it becomes heavy. The thrill that once drove her now drains out as a dull ache. You review the list of trusted devices and gently remove every unknown presence. The list becomes clean and short. Each approved name matches the life you actually live. You call the number on the back of your card with steady breath. The system recognizes you on the first verification and offers additional locks with crisp clarity. You accept the highest level and let the vault seal itself again. The confirmation email arrives like a final seal pressed into cooling wax. It shines with simple words that carry immense weight. Your peace extends farther than your accounts and settles into your home. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. She moves to a second device to test if the block is local. The result mirrors the first failure with mechanical cruelty. Her plan is now a room with 4 walls and no door. A memory passes through her mind of the first time she took something that was not hers. She felt powerful then. Tonight, she feels small. The room around her feels colder than it did an hour ago. The glow of the screen paints her face with a tired shade. The hunger that drove her begins to wilt. She lifts her head toward the window and hears nothing outside. The city breathes without her. The quiet reminds her that she stands alone with a plan that did not deliver. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. You tidy the last pieces of your defense with methodical ease. You label the record of your changes so you can scan them at a glance tomorrow. You place a reminder to review everything again in a few days. Your mindset shifts from emergency to command. You own the timeline now. You set the rhythm that others must follow. A simple routine forms in your mind for the mornings ahead. Check alerts, validate transactions, confirm devices, breathe, and move. The practice anchors your stability where no thief can touch it. The night rewards your discipline with a deeper quiet. The kind of quiet that follows a completed task. The kind that carries you forward without strain. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. In another space, she tries to blame the world for the wall she hit. The blame does not change the result. The system respects truth more than excuses. Her allies start to drift away in private messages that promise nothing. They recognize a failed attempt when they see one. They leave her to hold the weight alone. She scrolls through old screenshots as if they might turn into doorways again. They remain cold images without power. The spell of her confidence has broken. A final line appears on her screen that ends the night. It tells her the window is closed. It tells her the path is gone. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. You stand and stretch as the hour tilts toward morning. Your shoulders settle into a posture of quiet victory. The air feels new around you. You put your device down knowing it will stand guard while you rest. The protections you built tonight do not sleep. They hold their lines without effort. A soft certainty says you will wake to a future that belongs to you. The money that represents your work will remain under your name. The respect you showed yourself has multiplied your strength. The story this night tried to write has been rewritten by your action. It now reads like a lesson in power. It ends with your stability intact and your spirit unshaken. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. A quiet glow returns to the center of your home. The corners feel safe again. The rhythm of your breathing matches the steady pulse of protection around you. You think of the days ahead and picture them clear. Work gets done. Joy rises without apology. The bridge between who you were before this night and who you are now feels solid under your feet. You have crossed it without leaving anything essential behind. You carry only what is yours. The peace that settles now is not fragile. It is built on decisions made in truth. It will not crack under pressure. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. Her screen finally goes dark as the battery drains. The darkness shows her a reflection she does not enjoy. She recognizes the cost of chasing power that was never hers. She gathers the tools of her plan with mechanical movements. The room holds the shape of a battle that did not go her way. She leaves without looking back. The city outside moves on without her. The future refuses to open for those who build with theft. The door she wanted is sealed by order she cannot break. Somewhere far from her, the first light of dawn touches the edge of a window. It belongs to a space that is calm, ordered, and whole. It belongs to you. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Your account rests under layers that fit together without gaps. The locks you placed are not temporary. They form a pattern that lasts. A small smile rises because you did not simply survive the night. You mastered it. You led it to a better ending. The message that found you arrived at the exact moment you needed it. You honored it with action. You turned warning into wisdom that protects everything you build from here. The night exhales and lets you go. The day gathers you with quiet welcome. You step forward with your name, your resources, and your peace intact. Type Amen to get blessing 3131.